When possible, once a year, I try to have a luncheon for my downline for those who can attend. I want to show appreciation for them. And so I try to make it special with a theme. One time it was a tea at the Ritz, and the little gifts had to do with teas. One year it was during Valentine's Day, so it was red, and all the gifts were red, and we had a video on creativity. Last year we did it on becoming a star and using the bird personality test as something fun to do.
Jill, we're running short of time, dear.
Okay. I always recognize the top three. So in closing, what you want to do is, to recap, is go with your natural flow of interest in the person, listen with intent, look for their strengths and assets while they're talking, look for where their interest lies in the business, share with them about this great business, all the while tying in their strengths, because this is to build a long-lasting relationship.
Thank you so much, Jill, and I hope you all were taking great notes, because what Jill was talking about, it's all centered around that mentoring program that Mr. Knobs has for all of us. And that's where you come in regards to making that great income and helping that new recruit. It's all about you, share opportunities. So Janie Denton, is our little powerhouse on here tonight?
I'm here, Nancy.
Well, we're ready, Janie Denton.
All right. Well, I'm going to be short. Actually, I could cross out even my shortness going after Jill, because everything she said, of course, is right on. But here I go. As I've been thinking about this topic, I realize, quote, it's all about them, really starts when we're looking for women to work with. If we take the time to listen while we're out there anyway, we'd find many that have wants and needs that we could help them with. Many ladies spend a couple $100 at a time from us, whether it's cosmetics or anything to do with skincare or undergarments. Do we take the time and extend the opportunity and convert the sales for them to start their own business? Well, of course, this would depend on the person. I'm not just saying everyone, but probably a lot more people than you think. Or do we keep quiet because of the immediate sales for us? Something to think about there again if you're putting them before us. Next, I've always believed the interview, or as I call it, sitting down over a cup of tea, is the next place to find out her wants and needs. Some questions that I always think are important. We call it the interview, and we're telling her everything because we have so much to tell her. We probably need to cut down on what we're telling her and ask her some questions, like what minimal amount of money would you want to make or need to make this a viable business for you? That's pretty important. Right there we can find out if she wants $100 a week or $1,000 a month or 2 or 3 or 4. Number 2, what would you really like to earn each week when I show you how you can? Now, that's a little bit different. Number 3, how many hours do you have to devote to this business? I can't really help her. She could tell me she wants $1,000 a week, and then she tells me she has 10 hours to devote to it. Well, right then and there, I have to be honest with her and up front that it ain't gonna work. Less than that 10 hours, maybe she's doing nothing but recruiting, but she wouldn't have time to do sales, and that's where she's going to find her people. Number 4, do you have any particular wants or needs? Like a new car, and I'll say the things, I'll mention some of them, a new car, credit card debt, family vacation, whatever it might be that trips her trigger. How can I help her if I don't know what excites her? How can I help her if I don't know if she wants this part-time or full-time? By the way, these needs and wants will definitely change over time. So you don't just get them at the beginning and think that they stay the same. My goodness, in my 30 years, they certainly have changed, and they have us today. I have new goals today, as I'm sure each of you do too. I just don't know how we could help someone, as I said, if we don't know what she wants. And like Jill was saying, how about if it's just about what I want in the volume and the activity level, and I'm just pushing her towards what she needs to be doing. And we know what that would be, you know, how many shows she wanted, how many customer she could get out and see a week, or was she interested in doing curves or that kind of thing. But if we just tell her that she, well, you know, you're going to want to do this without reminding her why she wants to do it, that's the whole key to everything. Now, I feel like I'd be letting her down if I didn't tell her, remind her of what she told me her goals were. Getting people to sell because, well, just because of the volume and the activity obviously is a lot more difficult than reminding her that you just want to help. Because, quote, I wouldn't be doing my job. I'd promised that I would be there for you so you could meet your goals. We just have to accept our ladies, and their needs always come first over ours. It's so much easier and definitely more fun to manage that way. I believe it was Zig Ziglar that said, help enough people get what they want, and you'll ultimately get what you want. It really is common sense, and it really is important that we ask, and Jill had mentioned that we actually sell the opportunity. You know, we've got to stop telling the opportunity, and we really do need to sell it. We need to sell it on what their needs are. That's all I have for y'all tonight. Thank you, Phyllis and Nancy, for asking me. I'm honored. Thank you.
Well, Jeannie, we're awful honored to hear from you and Jill tonight. And in listening to you, Jeannie, I tell you what, we understand why you're a Diamond, International Executive Director and why you've continued to grow over the years, because it's a connecting. It certainly is the friendships, the encounters, the listening. You heard both ladies talk about we've got to listen, we've got to work with good attitudes. And one of the things that Jill talked about is so true. We love to talk about ourselves. Don't give your weather reports. Listen to what they've got to say. Know their goals. Write them down. And as Jeannie said, let's go after and help them reach their goals and keep them on track and reminded. Thank you so much, ladies. Very, very powerful. We will not have time for any questions. I'd like to turn this back to Phyllis and tell you both you just deserve being the superstars you are. Thank you.
Okay, and that was good. That's Corrine. That was wonderful. I know, Corinne, but you're supposed to be on was. I had to get off and tell them that. Okay, on mute. Get off back on mute. You're too funny. Okay, well, it was wonderful. It was absolutely great. And, we hear these things and we think, yeah, that's good. But let's apply it. Let's show these girls that we can apply this and talk to some of our girls that we have in our groups, and ask them, what are you looking for in this business? I'm here to help you. And, don't you love it when somebody comes to you and says, I'm here to help you? Well, it's kind of like a warm fuzzy. You just kind of look at it and you say, my gosh, really nice. She wants to help me. Wow. I think really we got to, I guess, not only listen to them, but listen to ourselves. What are we saying? And what are we not saying? I think that's important. So thank you very much, Jeannie and Jill. It was great. And, we just have so much talent out here in the field. That's why we have these conference calls and why they're so good, because all of you are so good at what you do with this business. It's outstanding. Now, we've thought what would be the next subject. Every week we have to go through, what are we going to talk about for the following week? What could we do to top what we've already had? How do we make an impact? How do we really get that across? And we thought, well, next week, how to get the new recruit to invest. Because that is a big factor when you think about those. Oh, I don't have any money. Oh, no, my husband lost his job. No, I can't. Oh, no, I can't do this. I can't do that. Well, we're going to have a couple ladies on that'll show you how they now don't look there and take that as a final. They're going to go ahead and say, what can we do? We'll show you how to turn that into a positive and get the ladies to invest in their business.